I know that some would say that this face looks tired or sad, but I guess it doesn't really matter because it's just what it is and it doesn't belong to me. And I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I guess I was in that state where it has been a few days. It seems like weeks that I haven't spoken, I guess we could say, in a video, and that's kind of touching and moving. That it always comes, the urge of doing a video always comes at a perfect moment where, as a person, I really need it. And I guess the most important thing I think I could say tonight is that there is nobody. Actually, there is nobody at all, and nobody is doing this, and that I was just right before the video, I was like having a moment of rough emotions coming in with family stuff and Christmas and everything. And during a walk that I did after the meal of the night, the supper, I went for a walk, and I just continued to meditate with Muji, which who has inspired me a lot for the past few days and weeks. And during this meditation I was like struggling a lot with ideas and feelings and forms, and I guess I just came back to the knowledge that it's always better when it's lived, felt from the perspective of being, and whatever the cost or the pain. And it was actually quite painful just before I clicked record. Okay, just an insect coming in. And I guess that it was at this moment that I realized that I could bring my, I don't know how we say in English, but in French we say apporter sa brique à l'édifice, like you bring your brick to the house. How do you say in English? I could say bring your energy. And I realized, yes, that is one way. That's something I realized in the past months, is that whenever I feel that I don't have anyone to tell what I feel, especially concerning the self, um, I could always tell things to the internet, and it's curious because I'm currently realizing and realizing and realizing again and again and again that if I feel alone is because some part of myself believes that I am, and that the only person that exists in the world are the person who did wrong things to me in the past. Like I'm always, as a human, um, going towards those persons, when actually at the same time on the internet I'm watching quite only videos about the self and meditation and being here, etc. Advaita Vedanta, non-duality, and it's curious because it's as if I believed there was a separation in me, like in the world I believed in, or the things that are warm in the heart, and the world I was supposed, or I'm supposed to dedicate myself to, which is a world of earning love, earning respect, earning a lot of stuff, which is not a world of abundance, of wealth, natural wealth, and a world of belief and trust, not belief. So there are two worlds in me, like this world of belief, sometimes wrong beliefs, and this world of trust, which is different. And I think this is why I don't yet meet the person I want to meet, is because I believe they are apart from me or away, and that I would not be connected to them besides via the internet. So that's quite an interesting realization that I'm having now, because I think that it's always interesting to have those realization as you speak in the present moment. And I believe that having this realization now may help me in the human dimension to meet the right people and to stop believing that love should be earned and earned and brought by people who actually don't like me or love me, and people that that's interesting, people that in the history of the person, people that I should save from despair, sadness, anger, whatever, and especially from Maya. There is this belief that if I try enough, those people will eventually come to the truth, which I believe in this 2025 Christmas period, which I'm coming to believe that it won't never happen. It will never happen. So it's, as I say it, it's okay. It was a suffering idea, and ideas. The whole time I believed in those ideas, and I wasn't even conscious of those identifications. So that's interesting that and that is why I believe I'm recording once again a video. That is because I have here and in the body the intuition that I have something to say, and doing so I realize that I have something to hear as well, as if really this body wasn't actually, is still only how do you say, a vessel, and I'm currently I'm currently witnessing that I am beyond or before the body I can see in the screen. So that's very interesting to have this moment of self-reflection, as well shared with whomever will want or will like to watch or see. And that's interesting because sharing videos on YouTube is only the only media for me, I guess. The only way that I know of today for me that allows me to have a moment of self-reflection like that, and in the same time sharing things with someone, because you are watching this video right now, so this video is made for someone, whereas at the same time I'm not recording it for someone because I'm recording it for myself, but there is not a person watching the video as I'm recording it, but I have the knowledge and the consciousness, the knowledge. I can acknowledge the fact that this video will be watched by someone, so it's very curious how it is like entangled and, how do you say, interlinked, maybe. Like this is happening at the same time. I know that this video is not watched yet, but it is because you are watching it. So very curious, and I think I said that because it allows me to realize that yes, I can be loved freely and like for no purpose, because I realize that in tiny parts and very subtle parts of myself I'm still looking for attention and love from person that don't love me, which is very, very curious to say as I'm saying it, because why? Why would I do that? I mean, I know that for almost anybody or everybody besides me, and that's the problem with ego and identification. I know that I would wish for anyone to be loved as they are, and it's as if for myself, but I guess this is the way, it's as if for myself it took more time to be witnessed and acknowledged and brought to consciousness. So that's very curious, but I guess I'll keep doing more videos because I've been in quite a lot of despair and trouble in the psychological layer these days. So I guess if I have the intuition, I'll keep doing those videos and more on a daily basis, because I find it is very soothing and, yes, curing. Like heal it. I feel it heals inside, because, as I said before, I have this feeling that I am authentically um, loved and held. Held is very mysterious and very. I feel like a child right now, because I don't understand why. I think I can put some words in it, but in the feeling, I mean, half an hour ago, 2 hours ago, I was feeling very, very, in a box, like trapped in my body, in my own body, and I was feeling it was so difficult to let things be and just, yes, just be here. I was looking for some ways to, actually, that's not me, but there were some ideas that I wanted to go away, to specifically find actions to run away to, or to, yes, to fly away to, yes. And it was kind of difficult to be aware, very bright-sided about this for the past couple days, because I found myself entangled in those mechanisms of you don't know whether how to you find yourself trapped in the identity, simply identification. You are considering, in your mind, you are considering whether you should do something to be at peace, or you should not do something to be at peace. And that's really something that's a trap, and that was complicated for me. And I guess this is because I am pushed to realize that I have to let go of action. And I already know that if I'm truthful and I'm honest in my looking and witnessing, I know that I won't lose the joy of doing things, but it will be only better. And I think I'm coming to something, I don't really know what, but the moment I'm doing this video, I feel it's, how to say in English, it's a crossing path, or I know that's a turning point. I'm coming to maybe the end of this. I don't know. I don't really know, but I struggled with that, and I'm kind of glad I found again this resource of expressing things, because I guess I've been listening a lot about meditation, guided meditations, and stuff, and my mind, in a subtle way, found some ways to possess, to take the responsibility of being at peace, and to come back into the mind stuff. And yes, I found these past days that it was difficult to just let things be, even the mind. So yes, I just added a reminder in my, how do you say, not in my agenda. In French you say agenda, but I know that in English it's not agenda. because agenda is just a list of the things you want to see to do in the day, I guess, or the agenda of a meeting, which is not what I want to say. More your calendar. I added to my calendar a reminder that I believe will push me to practice presence. That's what I added, to practice presence, because yes, we can have, and I can have the tendency of forgetting it, and I know that the mind will reuse it in a way that it was not meant to be. So at some point I will just see it in my calendar or not, and interpret. I don't know if you say it in English, but like read this practice presence in a way that is not what I'm practicing right now, which is truthful and honest and real. But who could not be honest and real, actually? That's very interesting, and I could mention or talk about this subject, but I think that the mind cannot understand that how we can simultaneously not forget who we are and forget who we are, or maybe believe that we can forget who we are. Maybe that's the power we have actually as pure awareness, is to have the ability to almost, or to play, to hide and seek, to play to that. And that's very mysterious, because on the mind and ego side, you believe that this is a sick game, you're like, but why am I still doing that? You're like, it's so shady and sometimes very sad, because you're like, I would prefer or would want to be enlightened faster or whatever. But I guess at some point you realize that it didn't even happen. I have this feeling in the intuition, even though I still believe that there is time, I guess. It's very, very mysterious how that can happen, and at the same time have this feeling and knowledge that it didn't really matter in the end, or in the beginning, or whatever, because there is no time. I had this remembrance in the moment I was walking. Maybe I'm gonna put on a sweatshirt because I'm kind of cold. What was I about to say? I was thinking about the fact that I was walking, and I remembered that it can be interesting sometimes, even though it can be as well something that is too much brought, like an exercise or work, and it's not supposed to be work, I guess. But in those moments, I remember that once is enough. Like, I thought about the fact that sometimes you can see the world. You can see the world. Why did it do that? I don't like this. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes you can witness and watch your thoughts and whatever you see on the screen and the forms and everything in your body. You can have this. Can you consider and can you witness? Can you right now witness everything that appears to you as if you were a newborn baby, you know? Just do it now. You can watch things around you, really as if it was the real first time ever that you there is so many interesting things, so many details that we are, how do you say, that we disregard, that we don't really pay attention to. There is so many details. And I know the mind, and know the ego that could say, oh, you should be more careful, you should pay more attention to the little things. And you know the ego, the mind, it always wants more. It wants you to do more, to be more aware, to be more to pay more attention to whatever, to do more. And that can be very anxious, can brings a lot of that can bring a lot of anxiety. And yes, so that was just in those moments what I can recommend is that if you have an idea that comes to you and a manifestation that, oh my god, I can see the world as if I was a newborn baby. Okay, that's fine. But it is already won, you know? You already won the race, or you won the feeling of just if it does something to your body that is nice, just leave it, because don't try to discard it and to say, oh no, it's not good, I shouldn't be attached to things and forms. No, it's okay to feel it's a perception, it's a manifestation, it's something that is sweet for the body, and that's fine, you can. I think that's as well supposed to be felt, I think that the more we let things happening, especially when they are tough, the more we can experience sweet and nice things in the body, It's something that requires a lot of faith, because especially when it is hard, you don't want, as a mind, you don't want to have faith in the dangerous things and the harmful things that appears, and that you probably, as a child or as a person, you probably learned to discard those emotions, those forms, those, I don't know, patterns, behaviors. So sometimes when you are on the spiritual path, for instance, but not specifically, when you are looking, or when if this video is talking to you, you'll be probably having those washing machine moments where you have to let things happen, and this video maybe will bring a little bit of hope, because I believe that as humans we all need hope in those moments, and I believe that YouTube is very interesting, because the more I spend time meditating, and that's quite interesting because of course the YouTube algorithm has brought me more and more of non-duality stuff, but it's interesting because I believe it does work on another layer as well. It's not only on the on the algorithm, mathematical, rational layer that it happens. I believe that things interconnect and communicate in a very broad and wide and deep way. So yes, my shoulder is in pain. So yes, I was saying that we all need hope, and maybe this Sangha, this I believe that the Sangha is really interconnected, interlinked through the entire World Wide Web, and that when we cultivate this energy, that is why maybe I wanted to make a video. I believe that when we nourish and we cultivate that, it can bring more faith, more joy, and more hope for myself, and as well for others. So that's what I was thinking. It's very interesting because I believe that I was thinking that when you are yourself, you're like a cat. Like right now, I believe like I have this energy of being a cat, very like as you can imagine a cat is, and that's cute, I believe. It's very natural, and not thinking about what I'm supposed to say or not say. Just it apparently happen as it happens, just on simultaneously I'm aware that this is happening, and simultaneously I am doing this, and I don't know how it works, but yes. So yeah, be like a child, be like a cat, or not. Those are only my words, but I could recommend that you do something that brings you joy. But even if you don't have something that brings you joy, I mean, at some point when you go through a moment of difficulty, there is always something that tells you, do this. and then you just do it because you know this is right. It's beyond, the follow this, follow the heart, follow the, the mind will try to tell you this is more spiritual, do this is more spiritual. But the truth is that eventually you'll just wander, and at some point you'll say, I don't know the F I'm doing right now. Even your spiritual routines will not do any good anymore. So it kind of will be taken away from you, because this is the way, I guess, to realize what is true, and that you don't depend on anything, any form, any activity to be yourself. But at the same time, you don't have to abandon them. You just have to trust the life which says to you, who tests you in this trust of let it go. And when you realize that it's not like a let go of death, and that it's only ideas, and that you were right to follow the way, to not believe the threatening ideas, then you realize that you didn't have, and you never had to abandon joy, because the child inside and your heart, they know that it would not be true to abandon, and it's not even feasible. You cannot abandon joy, and the real joy. You cannot abandon them or be abandoned. So I guess that's it. I guess I don't really want to say another thing. I'm just being excited to upload a new video, because it hasn't been the case for a few days or even weeks, and I have a lot of joy watching my YouTube channel evolving in the content, even the language, because I'm doing other videos in French. I'm just excited to see the evolution of the moods, the energies, and that brings me a lot of joy. I'm just thinking about the fact that I would like to eat chocolate right now, which is perfectly fine. And I'm as a human, I have those knowledge about nutrition, and I'm doing a lot of sports, so I try to eat healthy and everything. But sometimes it's really enjoyable to just follow the flow, and sometimes your body says in the middle of the night, just eat chocolate, it feels right. And even when it feels wrong, it could be interesting to eat chocolate anyway, because you'll just be tired of it at some point, and the experience of being tired of chocolate is interesting as well, and you won't be harmed anyway. So that sometimes I could relate to that, because yes, I have had some struggles about nutrition and food in not very long past, in the last month, I guess. I struggled with it, and that was interesting, because it never happened to me I believe I wasn't considering myself. I didn't consider myself being someone having food issues. You know, how do you say uh, in French? It's uh, I don't even know. I don't even remember how do you say. Trouble. C'est pas de la nutrition, c'est pas de la concentration. La nutrition. I don't remember. That's fine. But I wasn't considering myself as a person having food disorder. Maybe you say food disorder. But I remember that as a child, I probably struggled with that with my family and love and everything. You know, you should do that, you should eat that, you shouldn't eat that, you should do that. All those rules that can be really, stressful for a child. So I guess I went through that to realize that in the end, I have no problem with the food. But yes, if you're going through that, that is perfectly normal, and that's I could say have faith because everything is meant to be the way it's meant to be, even though, and especially if you don't believe this is right, or if you don't have faith, have faith. That's faith. It's about to trust, even though you don't have reasons to trust. At some point, I also realized that one of the things I trusted the most in my life is that there is absolutely no evil, and it, as a human, I never understood what evil meant. I mean, I can see what the constructs of evil and bad, are, how they are shaped in my mind and body, but on the absolute level, I don't see evil. It's just, and there is absolutely no wrong things happening. It has to be this way. I don't know how to say it. To me, it's so obvious. But at the same time, as I said, those past days, I just didn't remember that everything is fine. Because as a human, it's perfectly normal to forget, So I would say it's okay. It's okay to lose faith. It's okay to be perfectly lost, You just keep going, You'll have ideas that come to you and that reminds you of the things that you trust the most, The things I remembered, they just went the way they went, in my mind. And it was purely given, All was given. All is given. And have faith, especially when it's tough, it's here for a reason, For a moment, you will believe that it's in unfair and it has no purpose, or it shouldn't be here, you should be fine, or whatever idea, I don't know. Yes, it's unfair, life is unfair, I should be having a better life, I should be elsewhere, I should have more friends. Those are actually actual ideas that I regularly I have in my head on a regular basis, I should have more friends, I should have a girlfriend, I should whatever, blah blah blah. And those are ideas, you know. So yes, I guess there's that, and you're not lost, you're not alone. Just there is no guidance, you know. Um, I wanted to say keep going, and as long as you are alive, then it is okay. But even though you're not alive, this is okay as well. So there is absolutely no condition, you know. So just keep on. I know that it's not obvious, probably, or maybe it's obvious for you now. That's perfect. And for those for whom to whom it's not obvious right now, and that maybe experience coming and going, and moments where it's clear and those moments where it's not clear anymore, I would say yes. It's not about you. It's not personal, and I'm telling this to you as I'm telling it to myself. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm encouraging the energy in myself as I'm doing it with you, and thank and I'm grateful. Even though you're only a watcher, I'm still thanking you, because I know that I can already feel the energy that you send to me. So it's not like I'm doing a teaching or giving you some advice or anything. Not at all. We are all on the way, you know. It's not easier for some of us. Not at all. It's like we're all here, you know. We are all on that stage, and at that stage, at that on that level, and I can still say it's gonna be alright, you know. I can see how the mind would say, you don't know what you say. Why do you say that? I don't know why I say that. I just say it because I can, and I want to, and it's beautiful because of that. It's free, it's purposeless, and I realize that I would not think those things and say those things to myself if I wouldn't have clicked record, you know. So that's really a gift to be able to witness that and to be aware of that, because thanks to this video, you know, thanks to this video, um, I said thanks to this video because in French we say we have different words for um, I can't say in English, but in French you say grâce à ou à cause de. In English I could maybe explain. We have two words to say because of. Um, because of we can use when we have something bad happening, and we have another expression to say when something good is happening to us. À cause de et grâce à. It's interesting actually, because in French we say grâce à, and grâce is grace in English, you know. So actually I don't, maybe we say it in English, thanks to this. Yes, you can say thanks to this, or because of. Yes, I think that works as well. So yes, I guess this is it. 50 minutes, and I'm truly really excited. I can feel the child in myself really excited. I don't. Once again, I don't really understand what I'm doing or why this is happening. because an hour ago I was kind of really in a bad shape, but this is perfect. And my neck hurts. Yes, I guess that's it. Thank you. Take care. You're beautiful. And see you next time.